Welcome back to Let's Play Avernum, Escape from the Pit. I'm actually a little embarrassed I didn't think about one of the ways that now makes a lot of sense that we're going to get to Solberg, but first, we're going to Fort Draco. The two are actually quite related. Could be right up here? Yes. Fort Draco is on the river, and that should tell you everything. You enter Fort Draco, famed source of most of the metal produced in Avernum. Gold is valuable down here, but iron and steel are life. Without them, there are no tools, no picks, no weapons. Fort Draco is vital to Avernum's survival. However, such importance comes at a great price for those who live here. Fort Draco is a nightmare of soot and smoke. It's loud and filthy, and slag and ore are heaped everywhere. You develop a splitting headache almost immediately. The citizens of Fort Draco are a dirty, hardy crew. Work in the foundry and the mines has made these folks strong and self-reliant, and completely encrusted in soot. Carlos's meat and munchies. Rations for the road. You meet the proprietor of this small food shop. He's very busy. He has to deal with customers, make the food, and try to keep the ever-present soot flakes from getting into the flour. When you enter, he inspects you very closely. He seems very interested in weaponry and armor for a simple merchant. He gives a small smile and says, "I'm Carlos. Welcome to my shop, stranger." "Those are cave cows outside?" "Yes, sir. I love them dearly. Even more when it's time for one of them to make the ultimate sacrifice. Why, I raised them since they were calves. That reminds me. I need some more veal. You can buy rations. You can get meat, bread, and the like from me, if that's what you would like. You seem like someone who travels and does things. You must know an awful lot about the caves around here." "Yes. Yes, I do." "Another question. You called me stranger." "I did. Not to worry. We get a lot of strangers up here. They're welcome. They bring business." Let's see. Bag of meal for 88. Yikes. I know you're not exactly going to be making a profit hauling items in these games, but still. It's just marked as a trapdoor. We'll deal with that another time. Actually, that might be the way to the portal pylon, if there's one at the fort. What the? FR? What are they doing in here? Not much after I'm done with them, I guess. Evident. Beat up the permanent. I mistargeted that, but it's fine. That Revenant has kind of a shocking dodge chance. They really should have War Blessinged there, but you can come up and deal with the Spiritist. Step back and heal you. Step back one, shoot. Didn't kill. What were you doing back here? Viper skin boots? 6% armor, 10% poison resist? Sure. Other armor, crude broadsword. Crude bow. That was weird. Let's re-enter the fort. Frank. This sooty beggar uses crutches to move down the pathways of Fort Draco. His legs are bent and twisted. He nods snubbling to you. I am Frank, a miner fallen on hard times. Spare a few coins for my dinner, warrior. What happened to your legs? I was once a productive member of society, then I got thrown into Avernum. Then I became a productive member of this society. Then my legs got crushed in a mine. Now I try to get people to give me a few coppers so I don't die in the street. Sad story, huh? How about a few coins? Sure. You pay him. Thank you very much. You know, beggars hear many interesting things. Would you like to purchase some information? Only 20 more coins? Sure. He takes the coins. Much obliged. Here's what I know. Not all spiders are nasty. There's a bunch of friendly ones across the river and to the north. Met one once, not too long ago. Said she was wandering around looking for someone to come help them. She said ask the spider named Spider about a mission. I know it sounds like I'm raving, but I speak the truth, I swear. Thank you again for your kindness. He returns to the side of the road. The spider named Spider, huh? There's some elite archers in here. Sue's Supply and Laundry. See a beautiful woman with long brown hair and an astonishing variety of freckles. Strangely, both her and her shop are free of soot. Welcome, she says when you enter. I'm Sue. I offer both laundry and supplies. Most travelers around here can make use of both. Do you need my laundry? She lets out a sigh. That looks like a job, but all right. While you wait, she cleans your clothes and scrubs your armor. When you leave, you're very shiny. What do you do at this town? I sell supplies to the miners and such, and also to the adventurers who come this way. I also run a laundry service for the locals. What sorts of supplies? Mining supplies mostly. Stuff you wouldn't be interested in, but I do have some things you might like to buy. She brushes off a box with her hand. You notice that the store is amazingly clean. How do you keep your store so clean? She seems pleased that you notice. Yes, I used to spend all my time keeping things neat, but then I found out how reasonably priced dirt repulsion spells are. This is why everyone brings me their dirty clothes for cleaning. My shop is the only place clean enough to get the job done. Job might not be glamorous, but let's just say it's well worth my time. Alright, what are your supplies? Candle, lamp, pen and ink, healing, spiritual and energetic herbs, spine shield scroll, crude javelin, cavewood bow, beautiful crystal, and bandages, and apparently the prices are utterly ridiculous. Fort Draco is remote, however, and prices aren't. Comedy game. See anything interesting out back? Okay, this. Oh, I can't walk across these stones. Kind of looked like there would be a path, but that's all stealing, even if that cavewood bow would be worth a chunk of money. Brandon's boats, we'll come back to that. Afy's alchemy. You see a smiling, dirty woman sitting behind the counter. She wears a very pretty black dress. Because of all the soot in Fort Draco, you can't be sure if the dress was originally black. She says, "Welcome, adventurer. I am Ify." Or, Ify? Ify? Don't see many of your sort in here. This isn't that sort of business. Unless you have RNA at things. What do you do for this mining town? I'm the town metallurgist, and I dabble in chemicals as well. You'd be amazed at how often the cave workers need an alchemist of some sort. What do you do with the metal? Miners dig up the ore, gold, copper sometimes, mostly iron, and bring them here to be analyzed. I say if the ore is okay, then the ore gets processed, mostly into pig iron, but we can even make steel in small quantities. You know any alchemy? She smiles. You wouldn't be interested, I'm afraid. The alchemy I do is painfully tedious stuff to the layperson, she thinks. If you need potions made, you can find alchemists in Fort Dovno and the Tower of Magi. You're interested in RNA things. Yes, the RNA are a race of vicious, evil spiders which live in the tunnels to the west. They harass the merchants. Very dangerous. I've set up a reward system for anyone killing these creatures. When you find their fangs, bring them to me, and I'll give you 50 coins for each pair. 50. Looking for someone named Philea. Can you tell us where she might be found? Yes, you need to see her. She's a private one, but not above seeing the occasional visitor. She points at the seemingly solid west wall. She's past there. Anything for sale? Only my services. If you have any ore or metal that needs to be assayed, I can do that for you, but you don't seem the type. Oh, there's a third hand, and it's not stealing. What's the other thing I need? Iron bars? Right? Box? 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 Healing potion! Leave. A woman paces around... Oh, I have the recipe for Great Old Sad. Who needs that? A woman paces around in this concealed room, lost in thought. When she sees you, she's startled and annoyed. Of course, she snaps. What visit to Fort Draco would be complete without bothering Philea? Well, consider her bothered. Move on. I'm trying to find the recipe for Grey Mold Sap. Do you know where Cortath is? She starts to snap at you, but then realizes that helping you might cause you to go away faster. Yes, he was here, then he left. He crossed the bridge to the west and headed down, looking for Grey Mold. I think he has a hut down there. Go away. Take a note of this. What sort of work are you doing here? Research. Please go away. Let's see. Cortath, do you have a quest meeting for you? No. I think I've been to that. Haven't I? No. Botel the blacksmith. The smithy is dominated by an enormous metal anvil. It would take at least 10 strong people to lift it, probably more. It's an awesome sight. According to the sign outside, it's the property of Botel the smith. See a massive bearded man covered in what must be an inch of soot. The enormous muscles in his arms almost threaten to tip him over. He says in a deep voice left raspy by years of smoke inhalation, I am Botel, head smith of Fort Draco. Fine iron, fair prices. He leans casually on the largest anvil you've ever seen. What are you making? Just some of the best arms and armor in Avernum. This is my forge, and I can repair just about anything as well. The best smith outside of the Great Cave. Better stuff in the Great Cave? Really? Yes, the Great Cave is far, far to the south of here, and I've heard that the city of Darmon has the best steel workers in Avernum. But that's a long trip. You should just buy things from me instead. What would tax your skill? Nothing I've found yet. Sometimes I wish I could get a real challenge. What sorts of things would challenge you? I could repair any weapon you brought me, but I wish someone would bring me a really powerful magical weapon to restore. A powerful, strongly enchanted weapon is as challenging a repair job as I could hope to find. So basically, find the Demon Slayer shards and bring them to Botel. Buy some of your fine weapons. You sell steel. What are you using? You're using the singing rapier. You're using nothing because you don't melee. You have stat sticks. Armor, iron breastplate, steel shield, heavy boots, studded belt, fine steel gauntlets. It's only 1% more. Steel greaves, iron bracers. Can I sell something to you? Sell the junk bag. Extra 200 coin. Foundry. You enter a crude foundry. Ore from the mines around Fort Draco is dumped into the pool of molten stone and metal to the north, where natural heat and magical forces extract the pure iron. Eventually, ingots are molded from the carefully extracted iron. It's amazing that something like this could be constructed down here. Metal is necessary for Avernum survival. Not a single, not stealing bar of iron. Keep the fires hot. Ah, Bill and Bill. The heat and noise are almost unbearable. At first, you aren't even sure what species this person is, so thick is the layer of soot covering him. He shakes her hand, leaving behind a black smear. You look like quite the traveler. I'm Bill, and I've been looking for someone like you. What are you working on? I run the forge. I keep it from blowing us all to the surface. He has to shout to make himself heard. Quite a forge you have here. Yeah, the best in all of Avernum. Magic. Terribly hot. Be careful. Would it really blow us all the way up to the surface? Yeah, well, maybe not that far, but it'll sure make you dead. Forge is a mighty powerful thing. If it blows, they'll feel it at the castle. It must be difficult. running this forge. Not so much. The worst part is keeping the workers motivated. It's hard to get someone to ferry the good, cheap wine the laborers like during the off hours. They drink a lot of wine. Of course, hard life up here. Need something at the end of a hot, sweaty day to help you unwind. The miners love to drink wine and fight. Fights are easy to find, but wine is more difficult. If we brought you cheap wine, would you buy it from us? Sure, we need a lot of it, he shouts. If we went down to the Great Cave and got a load of it and brought it back, we would pay you well for it. Remember, we just want cheap wine, none of that fancy Almaria stuff. Alright. The heat and noise in here are enough to kill a cave cow. You wonder how this person can take it. He's completely covered in soot. Maybe it's filling his ears. He shouts, I'm Bill. Welcome to the foundry. You a merchant? No? Well, if you are, you can buy metal here. What are you responsible for? I ship the ingots so they can be shipped out. You know, Avernum gets all its good metal from here. What's so special about the metal? Oh, it's metal. That makes it rare. Down here, I mean. The best mines we got around here, so there you go. We've got the purest metals. Bill and I keep this pit running. Isn't your name Bill? We're both named Bill, he screams. I'm Bill and he's Bill as well. What sort of metal do you find? Mostly iron, but there have been a few rare strikes of gold and sometimes lapis lazuli and redstone. Redstone? Like, are we Minecrafting down here? What can you do with them? Nothing yet, but we'll work something out. Okay, that almost has to be a Minecraft joke, which would be weird, but I'll be going now. Okay. Doc's in. Grant and Doc. Grant. You see an old woman dressed in ragged black robes. She's having a drink and some bread at the bar, but she keeps looking over her shoulder. She seems to be watching something. Distracted, she says, I'm Grant, wandering sage. Can't talk now. You're a sage? Yes, and not that sort of sage, so don't ask. I can't teach you spells or how to find herbs or stab more efficiently or anything like that. If that's what you're after, I'm sure it is, go east to Formello. What are you looking for? I'm looking for my familiar right now. It's being very naughty. Then we're going to go meet the dragon. Dragon? Where? Mighty and ancient Motrax lives in the cave to the east. He welcomes all humans. He actually likes us. Mages from all over go to learn from him. I'm on my way now, if only I can find that naughty familiar. She turns to continue searching. She spies a lizard under a table and leaps after it. It gets away. You're trying to find your familiar. Yes, my little lizard, my friend, and help me. Who I won't punish for hiding, not at all. She starts to search faster as she shouts. You hear from right behind you something say, yeah, right. She jumps up, running after the sound. There's a large, genial-looking man wiping up the counter. Everything in the bar, including him, is covered with a thin layer of soot. Nods as you approach the bar. I'm Doc. Need anything? Why is everything so dirty? It's not dirt, it's money. Fort Draco is Avernum's primary source of metal of all sorts. A bit of dirt is a small price to pay to keep our little nation growing. Seems reasonable. That's quite polite. I know we're all a bit dirty, but someone has to do what we do. What are you doing? Well, I serve drinks to the rowdies when work lets off. Meals, too. Other than that, I just try to keep things clean. Is there any soot in the ale? Everything in Fort Draco gets soot in it sooner or later. Price we pay for prosperity. The rowdies? The miners and the prospectors and the foragers. They're a wild crowd, as you can well imagine. Let's see. Pretty average prices. I guess we can just take a wine for 16 and see what the bounty is on it. Can I rent a room? Not yet. 4 caravan guards are sharing it at the moment. They'd have words with me if I tried to cram anyone else in there. Few bottles of cheap wine. I'll sell them to you. 12 coins and XP. Okay, so it's really not worth buying unless the prices are explicitly described as cheap. Bill takes her jug of wine, smells it, and nods. Yep, that's good enough for my people. That's not very good, mind you. Just good enough to get them where they want to go. As a foundry worker, haul off the wine and pays you for the jug. Thanks again. You made this cinder of a fort a happier place. Or at least a woozier one. This huge open building is filled with heaps of raw ore. Each pile is marked with a small sign indicating who owns it. This must be where the miners bring their valuable ore, freshly chipped from the stone walls of Avernum. Oh, there's down here. I was like, is there no captain here? You can get storage, keep out, 11 difficulty. I'll have to take another poke into the barrack, but... You see a small man with short blonde hair. He wears a belt laden with tools. He must be the boatwright of Fort Draco. He nods as you enter. Welcome to my shop. I'm Brandon, and I'm the only source of boats for traveling the Northern River. Only 300 coins. Nice boats. What are they for? Mostly shipping ore. Very handy. Only 300. Let me know if you want to buy one. Very well made. Won't spring a leak and leave you drowning in icy waters. If you want to sail up here, I'm the only option. The only option? I'm the only person who sells boats for use on this river. It's a neat river. Lots of caves off of it. Just be careful of the sliths. And if I don't want to ship ore, there's some caves up here that can only be reached by boat. Lots of isolated tunnels. Great for prospectors and adventurers who can't keep their noses out of trouble. Alright, I'll buy it. Pay him 300 coins. He counts and then counts them again. Excellent. You can have one of the boats at the dock outside. Be sure to explore the river outside. I'm sure there's lots of interesting things. Guard, 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 guard. There's no one here with a major quest, it seems like. That's weird. Alright then. Down the river we go, I guess. Might as well explore everything we can over here. Someone or something has collected a pile of stuff here. There are a number of broken weapons scattered about, and some tarnished coins are scattered amongst them. Treasure sitting around in the wilderness. Very odd. Occurs to you to wonder what happened to the owners. Take it. 93 coins and iron greaves. Gather up the coins and a pair of iron greaves that will be functional after a good cleaning. As you put your loot away, you cannot help but notice a bunch of hungry-looking lizards approaching. But we're high enough level that we don't have to worry about them, but I clicked the wrong button. That's just the way things go. In Albuquerque. What, you didn't think I was actually going to sing it, did you? See anything, like, at the end of the tunnel? No? See, that's blocked off. That'll be the way to the tower, I'm certain. Let's go ahead and discover it, though. But... oh. I was gonna say, that's not the goal right now, necessarily, but hey. That's a good thing, apparently. We're at the entrance of a hot, steam-filled cave. To the south, spires of basalt and pumice emerge from the pools of magma. A narrow ledge of basalt rings the hissing fumable. Hit the discovery point. There we go. Hidden tower. But there's still a little bit of stuff beyond. I emphasize a little bit. Fountain burbles out of a crack in the ground here. The water is sparkling and looks highly inviting. Drink some of the water. The water from the pool makes you feel wonderfully refreshed and energized. Your fingers start to tingle as if they're eager to have magical power flowing through them. You're surrounded by a cloak of the arcane. Increase the effect of all spells. Huh. Neat enough, I suppose. Weather spring. Makes you eager to run out and hit something. A cloak of curses effect. Let's see. Can't get through there. Looks like that wouldn't lead anywhere anyway, though. And that is the extent of how useful this boat is. That was 300 coins. But hey, it lets us complete a major quest. Into Hidden Tower. The narrow passage ends at a ledge over a huge expanse of lava and steaming basalt. A narrow land bridge to the south arcs over the lava. It's hard to see through all the steam and soot, but it looks like something huge rises out of the mist at the other end of the bridge. Might be some kind of tower. Someone must have really wanted to get away from the world to come out here. It's wonderfully dramatic. Tower of Solberg, beware the traps, no trespassing. Oh, that's a drake. I am not prepared for a drake. Hopefully that's not a required encounter. Trespassers will be poached and or boiled. We're at the base of a small basalt tower, precariously perched at the top of this narrow rock outcropping. The deadly lava bubbles and hisses below. The caldera below threatens to eventually consume the stone below your feet in the tower as well. At the base of the tower is a small iron gate. Knock on the door. Responds. There's a password, isn't there? I see that button over there. Gate? Ah. As you approach the gate, you hear a voice say, "Password?" You respond, "Disaster." After a moment, you hear a clicking noise from the gate, and it slowly swings open. Meet an aging bald man wearing brilliant cyan robes. He stands to greet you, leaning on a polished oaken staff. Its head is carved in the shape of a cobra. He's flushed and sweaty, probably because of the intense heat of the lava outside. "Come closer," he says. "Let me look at you." He steps closer. "Yes, warriors of Avernum, as I had thought. I had hoped that none other would be able to enter my place of hiding. I am the Archmage Solberg, once of the surface, now of the Triad of the Tower of Magi. I hope that you had a good reason to disturb my solitude. Why are you hiding in this tower?" His face sours as he looks at you. "I would like to confide in you, visitors, but the arrival of any stranger fills me with fear. Let's just say I'm waiting." "What are you waiting for?" "For my fellow members of the Triad to complete their business." "What business is that?" "A messy, dangerous business. They plan to summon a Hawkeye. Not just any Hawkeye, but a Hawkeye Lord." "Tell me of the Hawkeye." "Be careful how you say that word. It has power. They are lieutenants of demon kind. Powerful and cruel. One of my colleagues planned to summon one who is powerful enough to lead them. A chieftain, as it were. And now this foul deed is done. Heavens help us all." "A chieftain?" "I dare not say his name, but they must be mad to have brought him down upon Avernum. They have great dreams of what they can win from him, but not even they have the power to contain him for long. Nor, I suspect, can they force him back to his home. No, he must be defeated, destroyed. Who can defeat such a beast?" Bold adventurers such as yourselves could destroy him. It's a dangerous, gruesome mission, but one that must be done, and soon. He looks at you hopefully. Should you ever wish to undertake it, ask me for the crystal key. Crystal key will enable you to reach where the demon is kept. I'd like that crystal key. Let's see. It's hidden through my magical portal, but please don't take it until you're sure you have the power to fight the demon, for I have no duplicate. It would be best to wait to take it until you have found Demon Slayer. There is much I can tell you about Demon Slayer, you have but to ask. Where's that portal? It's in a secret room hidden off my bedroom. Use your sharp young eyes to spot the switch on the wall. Tell me about Demon Slayer. A mighty sword brought down by Dervish Karzon, leader of the doomed first expedition down here. He was slain by a Hawkeye. The sword was broken. When he was slain by a Hawkeye, the sword was broken into 3 pieces. Long have we tried to find the pieces, but all we have are clues and things. That reminds me. The scepter was also brought down by the first expedition. Where might I find the pieces? When the sword was broken, the creatures that slew the humans took the pieces as trophies. The Slithzerikai took a piece to their holy shrine in a swamp far to the south. Another piece was taken by a lich to an ancient den of undead far to the southwest. In the Scree Caves, or so I'm told. Of the third piece we know nothing, but some believe the Nephilim took it. If this is true, it is possible the fragment is north of Kotra. That's the only place I know where the Nephilim gather in numbers. Scepter. An onyx scepter, which supposedly gave great power to the mage that wielded it. We recovered it, but couldn't figure out how to use it. They used it as bait to lure the Hawkeye to the tower. It's there now. What's the Triad? The Triad rules the Tower of Magi. There's myself, Linda, the initiator of this foolish operation, and Key, who is too lost in bizarre schemes to do anything about it. Oh, the Triad is a sad thing these days. It almost makes me long for Erica's return. Almost, but not quite. Who's Erica? He smiles sadly. Erica Redmark, wizard without peer, banished into Avernum by the fools above, consumed with utter hatred. Without her, we would all be barbarians, rooting about in the filth. How did Erica keep us from becoming barbarians? It was she that created the strain of mushrooms that grow quickly and are so nourishing. Other special plants as well. It was she who used her powers to steal things from the land above, like tools and books. She built the Tower of Magi. She led us. Then her hatred drove her away. Hatred for who? For those who cast her down. The mages above, together, were strong enough to curse her. She will suffer instant painful death should the light of the sun ever touch her. When she realized she couldn't break the curse, she began to plot. What's she plotting? Ways to bring doom to the surface world. She began to perform strange experiments and consort with dark forces. Soon, all she was good for was planning her revenge. So we asked her to leave. She now lives far, far to the west in a huge tower. And to tell the truth, I'd rather not know what she's up to. Should I try to seek her out? He thinks for a while. Then he says sadly, Perhaps. Perhaps you should. I sense a great destiny in you, and I feel she is the only person who can help you achieve it. So find Erica. She can give you a path. That path may have great horrors at the end of it. Beware. Can you teach me magic? I can, however I will not. I will do nothing but concentrate on purging the evil influence from the Tower of Magi. Once this is done, perhaps I can aid. So I'm going to poke, but not go for the key. Bag of meal, that's not stealing. Wine, that's not stealing. Scroll of lightning, that's not stealing. Cheese ball. See a large, lazy calico cat. It looks at you with utter disdain. I, it says imperially, am cheese ball. You can speak? Yes, of course, human. Don't you recognize a familiar when you see one? What's a familiar? I'm the loyal servant of Solberg. I assist him and watch over him and accompany him, even when he takes me down to the lowest pit of hell. Been in the lowest pit of hell? He coughs and shakes soot out of his fur. What do you think this place is? Can't ever leave? No mice? No dignity? If I wasn't magically obligated to stay with Baldy, I would be off. At the tower, that was a place for a cat. In the Tower of Magi, he purrs. You bet, that was the place for a cat. Prestige, excitement, mice, mutant catnip. Other cats, some of them a different sex than me. So what if there were demons? I could handle them. I want to go home. I deserve it. Cheeseball fidgets about in a thoroughly unintimidating display of fury. Then it walks away, not wasting any time to say farewell. So if I hit the switch... Is there anything other than the key I can get here? There's a thick book on the pedestal. The thick papyrus pages are covered with dense, strange writing. Decipher it. You can improve your knowledge of the spell Smite here. You concentrate and try to memorize it. The group's total arcane lore needs to be at least 5. Okay. Hell yeah. Oh, there's a... That's all stealing. I don't need to take the crystal key, though. Okay. We will do further exploration another time. Now I'm thinking about it, like, if I check the world map, I haven't been to the RNA layer. I haven't been to the spider cave. Largest anvil is there. And I haven't been to the ancient crypt. I'd really like to clear every quest I can while I'm here, you know? So let's go up to the ancient crypt. And I'm going to put that... Oh, that's just Death Hill. Let's pop into Formello. What do you have? Nothing of real value to me. Was there a trainer here? There's a job board. I don't think it's going to have updated. Oh, it did. Invading giant and delivery to Fort Draco. A giant has been sighted in the tunnels west of Formello. It lives in an encampment surrounded by rubble. These enormous humanoids, even larger than ogres, cannot be allowed to lurk near our trade routes, stealing our food and menacing our womenfolk. Track the creature down and drive it away. The victor will receive a bounty from Mayor Evelyn. And a scroll sealed with the wax symbol of the Tower of Magi has been pinned to the board. It is addressed to Boutel of Fort Draco. Let's see. Priest spell trainer. Let's see. I can learn Ward of Thoughts, extra chance of resisting mental attacks, Summon Shade, Greater Shade, Call the Storm, calls forth an icy wind, freezing your foes and knocking them back. I think Call the Storm would actually be a good replacement for Bolt of Fire, because that is 33 to 89. That is 27 to 81, but it's a cone and inflicts weakness curse. What do you have for mage spells you can get? You can get haste, but that's a single target. Slow, single... Wait. Slow is an AoE. Icy Rain you can't take. Up to 17. Jeez. Let's go ahead and go learn Icy Wind. Then we can always improve it later from another trainer. Oh, I was able to speak with Motrax. Tell Claudette about your meeting with Motrax. You describe how he didn't know anything of use, but the dragon Koth might. How unfortunate, she says. Still, I would like to pay you for your efforts. She removes a ruby from a pouch and hands it to you. If you can ever speak to Koth and learn what I'm looking for, I'll reward you further. You are not... No. If you want, I could buy some spells. I would like to learn. There we go. Definitely take Call Storm. I could improve War Blessing. Or Call Storm. I'll just go for both of them. I'm not spending a lot of money. So now, War Blessing adds 20% to the buffs. And Call Storm is 29 to 87. So, really, I'm going to go ahead and replace you. Well, to fire, you served me well. There may still be scenarios where I use you instead. Is there anything else I can, like, turn in? 3 more crystals. Jen up here in Formella will buy the meal that I have. Good bunch of mushroom meal. You're still looking for more. I don't know if there's going to be a stopping point there. There's my Undead Curse. I need to look that one up. Herbs for Ether. You need Grey Mold. Largest Anvil. Okay, so if I talk to Throndell, then I can tell him about it. Varga has a library. Ogre Mage is west, but that's going to be tough. Bars and hammers, I need the 3 iron bars that I was stupid enough to sell. Zerakai, southwest of Kotra, that's going to be the Fort Giant, delivery to Fort Draco. Bounty Rat Nest, I still don't know how to deal with that, and Deadly Crypt. Okay. So next time on Let's Play Avernum Escape from the Pit, we're going to go to Ancient Crypt. And then, depending on how long that takes... I really like clearing out, like, a general region. But it is pushing me a little further east than I normally would. I would like to go ahead and do this Zerakai stuff, because that's one of the basic enemy types that I was kind of told, hey, there's, like, bad stuff there at the intro. But yeah, I can just go to Kotra from here. I unlocked fast travel and immediately forgot. I guess that's a mark of a well-designed world where fast travel is a convenience but not a necessity. Alright. I guess we're not doing the ancient crypt, but I do want to go try the Zerakai stuff since it's over towards the start of the game. See you guys then.